Good evening, everyone. I'm Neha, Ambassador of Change for GETI, that is Global Education and Training Institute, founded and conceptualized by Dr. Sunita Gandhi with the vision of disrupting education. We organize pre-service and in-service training for teachers so that they can actually spearhead this disruptive education movement. And also we organize deep talks where we invite speakers, educators, and policymakers from around the world to discuss various best practices with us. Today, this evening, I'm very honored to have the very kind Mr. T.K. Rajiv, who is the director of Suprajeev Technical and Management Studies based in Bangalore. Sir has been very kind to spare his time and share his thoughts on a very relevant topic, that is preparing students for jobs in the future that don't exist. Thank you so much for joining us today, sir. A very warm
Thank
welcome
you.
to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, sir. Uh, so your topic is very relevant. It's very important right now because the education system is going through a complete revamp, and additionally, it's preparing students for a workplace with jobs that might not exist right now. 10 years ago, there was no, 10 years ago, there were various jobs that are completely maybe irrelevant right now, and that I think will be the case again in maybe 15 years. So would you be kind enough to draw some inferences from your own experience as being in the education industry for so long, and educate our audience about the importance of this topic?
Thank you, Neha. Thank you, GETI. Thank you for this opportunity. Good evening, audiences. Uh, Thank you for taking this time and coming onto this platform and listening to this topic. Now, this topic is very interesting and is most relevant today.
Absolutely. So
Preparing yourself for the jobs that don't exist. Now, the very word don't exist itself doesn't exist,
absolutely.
right? Now, the word doesn't exist itself doesn't exist. I wanted to watch this word very clear, very carefully. Now, if you see Columbus discovered America, America existed, and an individual only discovered it, means uncovered it, means found it out, means
Yep.
had the willpower to do it, had the willingness to do it. Right now, please see all the jobs, all the new industries, the new gen industries which are come, all technology existed, the need existed,
Yes.
individuals only tapped it and brought it together. Friends,
Absolutely.
please see, right? So please see, just like how America existed and it was discovered means it was uncovered. Now,
Absolutely.
doesn't exist is not there. It exists, but you have to uncover. Now,
Absolutely.
to uncover what is required is a mindset which is two types. One is innovative mindset, and the other is inventive mindset. Innovative, and the other is inventive. Inventive. Innovative. Innovative. Now, please see, in management terms, this you can call it as growth mindset and fixed mindset. Now, today, fixed mindset doesn't work.
Absolutely.
It is only the growth mindset which works. So, initially, friends, you'll have to look into what is called as the growth mindset. Now, one preparedness, preparing involves preparedness. So preparedness is one, preparing your mind. See how the teacher in the class, a professor in the training, right? A professor during his class, a lecturer during his or her class, be it a medical professor, be it an engineering professor, be it a science, geography, history, school teacher, anyone, they
Absolutely.
uncover the knowledge is there, but the student doesn't know. The student doesn't know, and the teacher uncovers, and thereby it becomes an understanding for the student. And when it becomes an understanding, becomes a qualified. So is here. When you uncover, then you become an entrepreneur. You become so. So one of the ways you'll have to be preparing yourselves selves is with an innovative mindset and an inventive mindset, which is a growth mindset.
Absolutely, sir. That's a very good point that you raised. One thing that you said was that the fixated mindset doesn't work right now, but the merit of a fixated mindset
Fixed
is
deposit in the bank doesn't work. There are no interest there. So the term fixed is gone.
absolutely. But hear me out. When they say that the fixated mindset doesn't work, one of the merit of fixated mindset is that it makes you secure somewhere that I'm going where I am supposed to go. This is the path. So one thing that needs to be done is to make students embrace ambiguity, so that to make them shift out of this fixated mindset. How do you propose we do that? Since you say that
See,
a fixated
now
mindset
just see
doesn't
this
work.
word security itself. Now look at this
Sorry,
word security itself. Is it the right word to use, or is the right word to use is comfort zone?
comfort zone would be the right word, I would say. Yes.
Great. See, now please see, when what really matters is how you hold the meaning of a word.
Okay.
Right? In life, you very closely see what is secure. There is nothing which is secure today.
Okay.
There is nothing. Security means what? What is that you are sure of? That is the meaning of the word security. In life, what is that you are sure of? I
Okay.
think that is what the corona and the pandemic has taught us.
That's a thought.
Right?
Yes.
What is that you're sure of? There's nothing that you're sure of. And you look at this word insecurity. The word insecurity itself means you are insecurity.
I would say that. Yes.
Yeah, you're inside security, you're insecurity. And friends, please see the moment, right? You and as lecturers and as professors, my invitation is, can we teach our children to see it in a broader vision, right? Rather than really experiencing a broader vision than a contextual vision. So please
Okay.
see, it's not security what matters, right? It's security is a word used, but the experience is more a comfort zone. Had Bill Gates been in his comfort zone, 1 lakh people would not have got jobs.
Absolutely.
Had Steve Jobs continued as a monk in an ashram, so many people would not have got jobs. If Elon Musk would have gone into his comfort zone. See, now what Elon Musk is really doing. I recently saw a video. I'm yet to see, yet to find out how true it is. I believe now he's going to be the next champion of iPhones, and come after Steve Jobs, he's going to be the next champion of iPhones, where the phones, I believe, are going to work in the planet Mars to Neptune. You will be speaking.
Okay. That's a claim. I have not heard if this is true or not. I'll have to check this out.
So
That's
I'm also
interesting.
yet to verify that. I'm also yet to verify that. I also saw this in a. I
Okay.
also saw this, and I believe he's going to be the next champion. Now, here, preparedness is where preparedness comes in your vision challenge. Okay, so once you should challenge what is doable and what is not doable.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right now, if by seeing, right, by seeing a bumblebee, if you can create an aircraft, that is a mindset what is really required. Right, by an apple falling down, down. If there is a, if one can say, Newton can say that this is working on a scientific principle, means what? This person's mind is constantly reveling on something. So if you want, if you say what is your preparedness, means your preparedness be one, constantly thinking of what new to do, and new, constantly thinking, how do I cross boundaries, how do I cross boundaries, and how do I cross boundaries, not keeping myself in a limited space, having a growth mindset, having a clarity in vision. The next, please see, this is one dimension. The other dimension is one from your mindset. Second is ability,
Absolutely.
network, ability to network, ability to develop contacts with people,
Absolutely.
ability to pull people together, ability to create a new team.
Absolutely.
See, Mark Zuckerberg, now I was hearing in one of the case studies, right, where everybody in his team, I believe, gave way and they wanted to join another company,
Okay.
right? But he sat all alone, really convinced that Facebook is something which he can really do. It's a
Yes.
doable, right? And where did Facebook exist?
Absolutely.
But network marketing existed. From network marketing existed. There was a knowledge. Computer programming was a knowledge. Internet existed, and out of which something new has come, now everyone gave way, but still he stood alone and did it, and while doing it he formed another team,
Absolutely. Yes. Yes.
forming another new team. So hence, friends, the next we call this as ability. Next we call this as ability. So one is networking.
Yes.
The next is the knowledge and skill.
Okay.
Knowledge and skill. Please see, how do I
That's
use Google Map is a knowledge.
yes.
Google Map exists, but how to use it, I don't know. But the minute I know how to use it, right? See, all the taxi drivers are earning their income because of they know
Google
how to
Maps.
use this Google Map.
Absolutely.
Right? So that is knowledge, learning how to use. Building it is skill. Building the app is skill. So one part is the knowledge, developing the knowledge, know how to use. Transforming from micro to macro.
That's a good point.
Transforming
Yeah.
from micro to macro. What is micro? Now I have a big vision. I want to develop this. Now, while I'm developing this, yes, it's a grand vision to have. But what is a small way I can start with? Smallest way. What is that is doable? I have a small room. I have a table, chair. I have a mobile. I have a network. What can I do with this? What can I
That's a
do
good
with this? Micro, small thing. Now, let me not imagine the big picture. Let me reach the big picture. When I started 25 years back, I'd never had anything. I simply had a table, a small table, 3 by 4, and a metal chair, not even a computer. But then how do I do? Right? I, I saw in my neighborhood, right, typewriter institutes are there. I mean, typing places are there. So I went and got my letters typed there. Xerox machines are there. So what did I do? I went there and took Xeroxes. Post office is there. So I sent letters. So what did I do? I don't have anything, but I tap the resources which others have. So micro to macro. micro to macro. Please see. The other thing, try to see what you can do within your limits in a small way, in a small way, in a small way, in the smallest way. Break into chunks, break your goals
Uh,
into small, small
so
chunks.
sorry to disturb you, sir. Your voice is breaking actually.
Yeah, my
Is your
network is good here.
you're audible, sir, but your voice is breaking. Is your internet connection stable? I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
think there's any problem on my end.
Yeah, my internet connection is very stable. I'm in fact in two lines.
I get that, sir. There doesn't seem to be a problem from my end. My Wi-Fi is absolutely okay. Yeah, could you just continue now?
Yeah. So from micro, you have to move to macro.
I'm so sorry, sir. Your voice is breaking, and I'm also not able to, see any movement from your end. The screen has frozen, I think.
No, the network is good here.
Sorry, sir.
The network is good.
Yes, sir. The network is absolutely good. That I can see. There doesn't seem to be a prompt which says that the network is not good. But for some reason, your voice is breaking and your screen has frozen. It did just move once right now.
Now it's fine.
Uh, it's not fine, sir. I'm so sorry. Your voice is breaking a lot. I mean, I'm not able to, actually hear what
No,
you're trying
because
to say. You're all
I'm on Airtel stream plus I'm on my mobile data.
you're on your mobile data, sir. Okay, that is.
No, I'm on my mobile data and I'm on my Airtel stream. Both.
I get your point, sir.
I can
There's
hear
a glitch.
you.
I mean, I'm not able to hear you, sir. Can you maybe try once again? Try speaking.
Now am I audible?
You are audible, sir. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. You're audible. You're audible.
Now it's fine.
Yes, sir. It's fine
Yeah.
now.
So
You're also audible. We can
shall we move progress?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We can continue. I'm so sorry if this
Okay.
happened.
No
I
problem.
must have been.
So from micro to macro. So how you have try to do things in a very very small way. Rather
Absolutely.
don't imagine too much. Right? I don't have this, but try to take this resources support of the smaller of the people around.
Absolutely.
Try walk around, see, figure out ideas. See, figure out ways. The second is right. One thing very important is idea formation.
Yes, sir.
Now, again, what is an idea?
An idea is something whose time has come. Maybe.
An idea is, see, now you have started this venture. It in your promoter's mind, it would have been a thought. Uber, Ola, all started. In their mind, it was only a thought. Why don't we look at something like this? Why don't we look at something like this?
Absolutely.
Then, once that thought comes to their mind, now they start working. They start working on how do we do this? Yeah, mobile is there. This mobile internet is there. Everybody has got a smartphone. Apps can be developed. There are a lot of people who have got cars, but who need income. Who
Absolutely.
need income. And there are people who have got cars and who need income. At the same time, it is the cars are not used fully. There are people who want services to move one place to another place, so they need to travel, so there is a need. So one place resources are there and one place there is a need. Now, seeing the gap between these two is another important ability we need. Networking
Absolutely.
ability to see gaps. And when you see that gaps, you really start seeing another opportunity.
Absolutely.
Now, this is what you really see. What, right? Getting yourself ready. One is ability, and in ability, these are the abilities. Now they start. That's only a thought in their mind. All these resources are there. Resources are there. Need is there. Resources there. Need is there. Fine. Now here is where analysis happen. Now, how do I get this together? Now there is an app. We can do all these things. We can do all these. Now think at a macro level. Now go. Then we need cars. Then we need that building. No macro level. No. In my table and chair, using networking, what I can do. Today we are in that world. Macro. Now doing a macro job. Doing a macro job. Sorry, doing a micro job. Now what you do, now you start implementing these ideas. Now you start collecting cars, you start developing the app on one side, you start collecting cars, you start interacting with drivers, you start documentation. Now you start implementing it. Now when you start implementing it, you see the positive results of it. Now when you see a positive result, a thought becomes an idea.
Absolutely.
Now please see. Please see. Now, this thought, this is another ability you need to cultivate. Now, you please tell me, where does this thought come from? It has come from you only. It is coming with the sheer intention, growth mindset. It's surely coming from that growth mindset. It is not. It is not trained. Not trained by somebody. It is not in your genes. It is not in your DNA. It is nowhere. Is irrespective of gender bias. Is irrespective of anyone. It is just that. It is just that a person's growth mindset, that icha shakti, that willpower, which creates all this. So developing new thoughts, being very spontaneous, Now you see this whole training program is going on spontaneous. Is there any problem?
I don't think so. Except that one technical glitch we had just a
Yeah,
couple
yeah.
moments ago.
That's right. Now, please see, being very spontaneous, being on the foot. Now, how does this? This is not an ability. This is not a
Absolutely.
smart. This is not a smart guy's job. This is not an intelligent guy's job, right? This just comes. Just comes. This just comes. Right?
Absolutely.
All these things we human beings are geared for. Next is cultivating the habit of speed. Now, speed means what? Having a sense of urgency. Sense of urgency. Now, if you see, right, most people have got most entrepreneurs must have their sense of urgency, and all students also, they must have sense of urgency. Like
Absolutely.
Dr. Abdul Kalam in his book has written, you should have fire in your stomach, even when not ice in your stomach. Even when you're getting up and standing from your seat, it should be like a spring bouncing, right? Everywhere, speed, 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 a sense of urgency. A
Absolutely.
sense of urgency. And friends, a sense of urgency is very, very, very important. So, right, to sum it up, let me tell you, right, one, you have to have a clarity in your vision.
Abs- Absolutely.
Vision. And vision means what? It's like a book of Stephen Covey. It's very beautifully said, right? A vision is like a compass in a ship, right? When it goes off coast, right, the captain brings the ship to the right place, brings the ship to the right place. So a compass gives you direction. Like how the compass gives you direction, the vision also gives you direction,
That's true, sir. That's
right? Now we have then the mindset, the innovative mindset and the inventive mindset, right? And here both has got the growth mindset and not the fixed mindset. Then the ability, the networking ability, right? The ability to bring resources together, the ability to think at a micro level to achieve the macro level.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So when you think at the micro level, you see what is doable. You see what is doable. You see the actionable points. You see the workable points, right? And you see what I can do right today, thanks to technology, thanks to people, Zoom or Facebook or Instagram,
Absolutely.
Apple, Microsoft. Thanks to all these, uh, people, who has made things things so simple today. Then ability to think and convert this into an idea, your thoughts to an idea, and these ideas implementing it in a very economical form is called as an entrepreneur. So
Absolutely.
your ability to make things reachable to people, empathy, feeling what the others need, and that
Yeah.
feeling the feeling, being
Absolutely.
spontaneous, right? Thinking on the feet, what to do right now, just being available, and just being available, and the sense of urgency, which is called speed. And this is a lifetime practice point. Now, skill is not something that you're born with. What is the meaning of the word skill? Skill means expertise. Now, how
Absolutely.
does expertise come from? Expertise comes from practice. Now, what is practice? Repeated action performed in a proper manner and method is called practice. And there has to be an intentional practice. There has to be a committed practice. There has to be a deliberate practice. I'll practice it this way. So it is not practice which makes a man perfect. It's perfect practices which makes a man perfect.
Absolutely. That's a very good point you said.
Right.
Thank you.
And hence deliberate. So we say practice in proper manner and proper method. So it's only a right practice, right? And then slowly get to keep this goal in mind. Do it first time right and right first time.
That's a
And
good thought.
yeah, and then with all this agenda in mind, with all these programs in mind, with all these focus points in mind, is one way of preparedness for jobs that doesn't exist.
Exist.
And you see Sukhan, right? Sukhan is a inverter, right?
Okay.
Right? Now, electricity existed, but current goes. Now, here is a man who comes and builds a device called as inverter or UPS, right? Now, and that too with plastic, which makes elegance, lighter weight, and can take up to 600 degrees. And now, please see, brings this particular thing, sorry, brings this particular item into the market. Now, where current goes also, right? Current is there with the help of this equipment. How Sukhan really made this popular? Where did it exist? It
Absolutely.
all is a thought into an idea, an inventive mindset, an idea formation, right? Networking, knowledge skill, speed, and being very spontaneous, right? So hence, right now with this, I hope this was a meaningful talk, and if I'm open to questions.
Great, sir. That's a wonderful summation of so many important points that you've mentioned that would actually make a child, prepared for maybe the workplace and for jobs that don't exist right now. Just to conclude our very informative session, I have a question for you, which is how should teachers be, prepared to, prepare students? What's the role of teachers in this entire, theme of ours to prepare students for, the future workplace? How can a maths teacher maybe, or how can an English teacher do their job in, in this process?
See, more than a teacher, let's see who is a teacher
Okay.
in the first place. A teacher is one who produces another qualified person,
Yeah.
right? So that's a teacher who produces another qualified person. Now, yes, the teacher has a role to kind of coach people in the particular subject of study, make a person strong. But there are methods of teaching. Now,
Absolutely.
through methods of teaching, the teacher can really can multiply project works. In a project, how do you make them right? How do you give them a system? How do you give them a workbook? And through a workbook, how do you bring in discipline into them? How do you
Absolutely.
make them principled? How do you make their mind think, how does this work? How is that possible? How does it work? How do you make their minds think? So you can give them certain workbooks, certain methods, like how to improve their mind, and then give them some rules, how to make the project, how to do this, how to do that in a systematic way. So there can be systems. One system can be given to a student and ask them to find out many methods to do it,
That's a good thought.
rather
Yes.
than a teacher giving instructions, ये करके दिखाओ, ये कल करके आना है, ये 2 दिन का टाइम है आपका, ये सब लेके आना है. नहीं, ये गाइड करो ना, बात दिखाइएगा, right? That is why in today experiential learning is more important, right? So that is at the very meaning of the word education is bringing forth rather than dumping in. It's called you know so
That's
it's called abhyas. Abhyas means practice. So even a teacher's mindset has to be how I can develop a system of training and then methods of training and make different methods of learning. In a
yes.
train the trainer program, we really do that. I'm now coming up with an uh, electrical vehicle training. In fact, all my course material for the electric vehicle training, right, is based on this principle only.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a very good thought that you've mentioned, that teachers also need to, evolve from just being teachers to being facilitators of student learning. That's a very good thought, and that's also a thought that we abide by here at Getty. So that's what we think, that though teachers are at the center of education, they also have to, realize that they're also, preparing students, for the future. For, as we say, the jobs don't exist. That's a wonderful. Thank you for your wonderful thoughts, sir. Thank you for sharing your valuable thoughts, condensed. Bringing them from your experience of 25 years, as you say. Thank you so much for joining us today, and I hope that people who are watching and people who will watch will like the idea that Sir shared with us today, and also help them, educators, parents, teachers, our audience, to engage with students in a way that prepares them for jobs in the future that don't exist. Thank you so much for joining us
Thank you.
today. If you
Thank you.
have any if you have any concluding thoughts, we would like to, hear them out.
No, I would only say put it in one line.
Yes, sir,
Just
please.
just let go. Believe in yourself and just let go. And if a person who moves around will find his place, right? So don't have limitations, simply go.
That's a very bold thought and very difficult to implement, but at the same time, very valuable and very insightful also. It's difficult to let go, but it's also very important to let go, I think.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us today and all the best for your trainings that you mentioned.
Yes. Thank you, Neha. Thank you, the organization Rio. I look forward for your fruitful association with the organization. Audience also, please be in touch, comments, etc. Thank you very
Thank you. So
much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Have a good day. Good evening, I
Thank
would
you.
say.
Good evening.